Here's Navarro on the run. Navarro's going to keep it. Navarro for 6. Touchdown, Bobcat.
I feel I had a hard time staying in my own lane.
Oh my goodness!
Brett Murdoch, pick 6. Harbath inside the 30, the 20. Blake Harbath will score.
And Mendoza takes a big hit. He never saw it coming. Trey White got in there.
There's his man, Rucker. And nobody's going to catch him. Goodbye.
Intercepted. Tyree Skipper. Touchdown.
Telly again, why not? A step forward and make it 2 for Telly.
Quarterback keeper showing off the speed, steps on the gas, untouched.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive, where we bring you the G5 college football coverage you love each and every week. I am Luke, and I'm joined by my co-host, Justice. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, and a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. It helps with all the things that I don't understand. Algorithms. I don't get them, but they help. Now let's get to the fun conference here. We have the American Conference Week 13. Let's talk about our games in review. We had our Saturday games of Tulsa versus Army. After 3 quarters, it was 25-14 Army. What really held Tulsa in this quarter, they had 2 fumbles. However, Army was not able to capitalize on those as they did not score any points. In the 4th, there would be a momentum shift as Tulsa would hit a field goal to cut the lead to 8. Then 2 plays later, Lento Smith Jr. would intercept Cale Helms with 3:34 left in the game. 40 yards later, Baylor Hayes would find Josh Smith for an 8-yard touchdown. They would not get the 2-point conversion. Tulsa's down 25-23 with 1:53 left. Tulsa would go for an onside kick. However, Army would recover. Tulsa only had 2 timeouts. They would use them on a 4th and 3 on the Tulsa 39. Army would go for it, get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Tulsa takes over on downs with 1:40 left. They're down 2. On the back of Dominic Richardson, Tulsa would find themselves at the Army 9 with 15 seconds left. Seth Morgan would come on for a 26-yard field goal attempt, puts it through the uprights, and Tulsa wins this one 26-25. Charlotte at number 4, Georgia in a G5 versus P4 game. Not much to talk about here. Georgia rolls 35-3. They were up 28-3 at the half. Georgia had 449 yards of total offense compared to Charlotte's 169. Charlotte would not get into Georgia territory until 48 seconds left of the first half when Gunnar Stockton threw an interception to Jacarius Conley, who took it to the 39-yard line of Georgia. Charlotte would not get into Georgia territory again until about 8-minute mark left when Loftus found Mason for a 38-yard pass play, which got the 49ers to the Georgia 21. However, that drive would end in a Loftus interception. South Florida versus UAB. This was a back and forth in the first half. USF would take a 17-10 lead into the half. The first play of the second half was a 60-yard touchdown pass from Brown to Rubin. The Bulls are now up 24-10. Following a Kitna interception, his 3rd of the day, and a turnover on downs. South Florida would score 10 points after those turnovers and go up 34-10. South Florida would tack on another 14 points and win this one 48-18. UConn, FAU. This one was a fun one. All UConn after 1. It was 24-3 in favor of UConn. After a 39-yard Messer rushing touchdown and a 17-yard Veldkamp rushing touchdown, the Owls are within 7, but the Huskies would score 3 to go up 10 into the half. FAU would own the third as they would score 14 points. UConn would score 7 to make it 34-31. UConn leading heading into the fourth, and then Caden Shields-Dutton would fumble at the UConn 29. UConn would turn that turnover into 7 points to go up 10. FAU would respond with a Veltkamp to Messer touchdown from 33 yards out to cut the lead to 3. And on a side note, Messer has been tearing it up the last 2-3 weeks and been very quiet up to that point. UConn would be forced to punt. FAU would capitalize as Veltkamp would rush another one in for his second on the day. This would put the Owls up 45-41 with 2:11 left, but that's too much time for Joe Fagano and the Huskies, if you ask me. UConn will march down the field for 75 yards in 1 minute and 49 seconds to take the lead on a 1 yard Cam Edwards touchdown run for a 48-45 lead with 26 seconds to go. UConn kicks it off to Jay-Sean Platt, who returns to 11 yards. Plus, UConn grabbed the face mask for an additional 15-yard penalty. It's 1st and 10 from the FAU 26. Veltkamp would complete a 27 and a 29-yard pass to set up Garrison Smith for the game-tying 36-yard field goal. And let me tell you, that wasn't even close. UConn escapes after blowing a 21-point first-quarter lead. Joe Fagano with 33 of 46 for 446 yards, 3 touchdowns. Cam Edwards had 2 rushing touchdowns and 101 on the ground. That one was a entertaining game. ECU at UTSA. We talked about this earlier, but UTSA would score on 5 of their 6 first-half possessions, while ECU would punt 4 times, fumble once, and kick 1 field goal. It was 34-3 at the half. Owen McCowan would throw 3 touchdowns in the first half. UTSA would score on 3 of their 6 second-half possessions and score a defensive touchdown as the Road Runners dismantled the Pirates 58-24. Owen McCowan threw for 5 touchdowns, and redshirt freshman, I think it is, freshman Will Henderson ran for 146 yards. Number 24, Tulane at Temple. After a close first quarter, Tulane would start to pull away in the second as they outscored Temple by 10. They're now up 13, more of the same in the third, but only 6 points were scored as Tulane was only able to score 2 field goals, but they're now up 19. After Temple scored a touchdown in the fourth, Tulane would respond with a touchdown of their own as Jake Ratzlaff found Justin Reed for a 4-yard touchdown to go up 21 with about 10 minutes to go, and Tulane wins this one 37-13 as they're one step closer to an AAC championship appearance. Number 22, North Texas at Rice. Rice was up 14 points and kind of a shocker at one point in this game, but North Texas would score 42 unanswered points as they were up 42-14 with 3:14 left in the third. North Texas cruises in this one 56-24. Drew Mestemaker was 19 of 23 for 469 yards and 3 touchdowns while adding another one on the ground. His favorite target of the night was Justice's Offensive Player of the Week, Wyatt Young, who had 8 receptions on 9 targets for 295 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Man, I got to watch this game. It was a fun game to watch. And man, like Drew Mestemaker is good. He is so good. I hate to say this because I don't want it to happen, but I feel like someone's gonna pay Drew Mestemaker. He's gonna be Drew Moneymaker. He's someone in the P4 is gonna offer Drew a lot of money. Maybe he won't take it. I don't know. Obviously, they could lose their head coach too, right? Like, there's a lot of smoke of Eric Morris maybe going to Oklahoma State, for instance. Got to feel like if that happens, Drew likely follows. But man, Drew Mestemaker is just so good. I mean, he has such a quick release. He has a strong arm. He has great vision. He can throw it downfield. He's mobile. I think I told Luke this when I was watching this game. I said, I feel that Drew Mestemaker is going to be playing in the NFL. And that's just remarkable for like we talked about earlier, his story, right? Didn't play, only started 1 game in college, and that was for the 9th grade B team. 1 game in his high school career, I should say. He was a walk-on at North Texas. He was a walk-on as a defensive back. He won the backup quarterback job last year. over, Cash McCollum, who was, I think, a 3-star recruit for them. And then with Chandler Morris sitting out the bowl game, Drew Mestermaker got the start, making his first start since that 9th grade B team start. And he played lights out in that bowl game, man. And they bring in Reese Poffenbarger, and Drew Mestermaker, shows he's the man. And it's just an incredible story, man. Like the dude's gonna go to the NFL and they're gonna write movies about him one day, buddy, because the kid's talented. He's super talented.
Some would call this like the Kurt Warner story of college football.
Well, that's what I was thinking of, right? Like kind of like, but unlike Kurt Warner, I don't. Yeah, I mean, like Kurt didn't get, he was, didn't make it high in the college level. He was kind of, to Luke's point, he worked his way through Arena League.
He went to University of Northern Iowa, not too far here, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Bagging groceries at Fairway, a local grocery store here.
He played for the Iowa Bombers. Is that who they were in the Arena League?
Iowa Barnstormers.
Barnstormers.
They're in Des Moines, Iowa.
There you go.
So, yeah. All right. Bowl eligibility. We had one team added to this slide, and that's UTSA. So now we have North Texas, Memphis, Tulane, UTSA, USF, ECU, and Navy. That is 7 teams that are bowl eligible from the American. Let's dive into our week 14 previews. Thursday game, we have Navy at Memphis, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Memphis favored by 5.5 points. Over under set at 59.5. I don't.
It's
really
a tough one.
Yeah. I think I'm going to stay clear of this one. I don't want to do anything on this one.
It's just going to be a good game. I mean, Navy needs to win this game, obviously, to have a shot at the American Conference championship game. I personally don't think, win or lose, that they're going to get in to the American championship. But they need it to happen. But it's going to be a fun game to watch, right? Like, just tune in. It's the final game of Blake Horvath, final game for Brendan Lewis, Cortez Braham for the Memphis Tigers. Should be a fun, exciting game on a Thursday night. I don't think there's any other games on Thursday, or not any other college games, I should say. Obviously, Thanksgiving there's NFL games, but should be a fun, entertaining game for the American, putting 2 of the better teams in the American on display for the nation. Tune in and watch an exciting game. I'm with Luke. Man, I guess if I had to bet something, I think I'd take the over. I don't feel comfortable enough to. I don't really have a lean. I think who's going to win the game. But if I had to pick something, I'm going to take the over 59.5.
If I had to pick something, I would take Navy and the points, because the game is on Thanksgiving and they're just a much more disciplined team. They're not going to be eating all this stuff. Maybe Memphis is a little bit sluggish. Maybe some guys ate too much turkey. Maybe they ate a little bit too much at lunchtime or something. Maybe they celebrated the day before. Navy will be locked in. That's, Galaxy braining that. Let's move over to Friday game. Temple at number 21, North Texas. 3:30 p.m. Eastern on this one. North Texas favored by 21.5. Over under set at 65.5. Man, this was like a trap game for North Texas, because Temple is just a good football team. Casey Keeler coached the heck out of Temple. I think 21.5 is a very, very large number. But North Texas is rolling, and I could definitely see them covering that. But I think I'm going to go with Temple. I think 21.5 is too big. I'm going to have they cover the points there.
Man, I think I hear you. I think Temple is a solid team. I don't know they lose by 21.5. I think if I had to, I think I'd be more comfortable taking the over, but probably just an avoid for me. I don't think it's going to be a letdown game in terms of North Texas maybe losing the game. I think they're going to be jacked up and they're going to win the game and make it to the American. And if I'm predicting, like, I think North Texas is your rep, like we said earlier in the college football playoff. I think they beat Tulane, and they're the team that gets in to the college football playoff. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them against. I don't know who they're going to play. I haven't paid that close attention to the Power Four and what those rankings look like, but I think they at least have a shot at pulling off a potential upset, at least in the first round, anyway. So, yeah, give me North Texas to win, and I'd probably, like I said, just lean towards taking the over.
All right, let's move into our Saturday games. ECU at FAU, 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff. ECU favorite.
One thing real quick. Go back to that game real quick. Temple, if they win, can get the bowl eligibility. So that it's not like they're not playing for anything. That'd be a hell of a season, hell of a job by Casey Keeler, right, to get the bowl eligibility in his first year there at Temple. You know, I don't think it's going to happen for him, but the fact that it's even a conversation just tells you how remarkable of a job Casey Keeler's done there in week 1 for the Temple House.
All right, back to ECU at FAU, 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff. ECU favored by 6.5 points. Over under set at 66.5. I honestly think that's too big of a number because I think ECU's defense is going to come to play here. I'm going to lay the points with ECU in that 6.5. I think that they win by more than a touchdown. So give me ECU in this one.
Man, I'd say, like, generally I would agree with you, but then look at the results from last week, right? And like how UTSA kind of torched them. I don't know. I look for maybe a shootout here, and to me, I would take the over. I do think East Carolina wins. They're the better team, definitely the more complete team. The FAU defense is not good at all, but the offense has been on fire the last couple of weeks, and they maybe they can keep that going and give them some momentum to build upon in 2026.
All right, UAB at Tulsa, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Tulsa favored by 9.5. Over under set at 59.5. In this one, I think I'll take over 59.5. UAB has that ability to be in shootouts. I think they can easily put up 24 points in this one. Tulsa also, I think they lean on Dominic Richardson. They can, pass it around. I don't know how well UAB does against the slot, but I assume Foley's going to have a great game as a tight end option there for Tulsa. So I think Tulsa wins this game, but give me over 59.5.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to add. I think I agree with you on those on the bets and the points. The points about Tulsa winning. Neither team can get to bowl eligibility. Tulsa can get to 5 wins. Again, a great job there by Trey Lamb in his first year there for the Golden Hurricanes to get to 5 wins. Got a big win over Oklahoma State P4. So yeah, he's got Tulsa headed in the right direction, and we'll see what comes with for UAB in terms of a head coach in 2026. All
right, Army at UTSA, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. UTSA favored by 7.5. Over under set at 52.5. I don't like over unders with Army right now because they can just hold the ball for an entire quarter. Seen it happen multiple times this year. Like I said, UTSA, different team at home than they are on the road. They are at home on this one, so I will lay the points with UTSA in the 7.5. Don't feel great about it, but I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna go the opposite way. I'm gonna take Army in the points. Army's fighting for bowl eligibility. They have to win this game because the Army Navy game cannot get them to bowl eligibility. It happens too late in the year. So Army has to win this game to get to bowl eligibility. That UTSA defense is so porous. I think Kel Helms has a huge day, and he leads Army to victory in a close one. Give me Army in the 7.5 points. And like I said, I think Army wins this game outright to get to bowl eligibility.
All right, Rice at South Florida, 7 p.m. Eastern kickoff. South Florida favored by 27.5, over under set at 59.5. I'm going to lay the points with USF in the 27.5. It's a very, very, very large number, but I think USF can do it. They're going to try to do some style points here. Rice can hang in there, but ultimately, I think what we saw last week from Rice is very similar styles here with North Texas and USF. So give me the Bulls. I'll lay the points there at the 27.5.
I agree with you on all accounts. The only thing I will add is that Rice, if they do win, can get to bowl eligibility. Don't see it happening, but regardless, Scotty Bell, phenomenal job he's done at Rice in year one, installing his version of the triple option offense there for the Rice Owls. Be excited to see. Like, I feel like, I saw more than I expected this year, and I think there can be even a bigger jump in that system in year two. So looking forward to seeing that for the Rice Owls, and kind of like what we talked about with Temple, right? With the Owls teams, the fact that Rice can become bowl eligible this week, that's speaks to the job there that Coach Abel's done there at Rice in year one.
All right, and then Charlotte at number 22, Tulane, 7:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Tulane favored by 30.5 points, over under set at 52.5. I'm going to stay clear of this one. 30.5 is a large number. I get Tulane will easily win this one. 52.5 is a large number because Tulane's going to have to probably score about 48 of those points. I would assume and 30.5 is just a large number. Like, Georgia wasn't able to cover against Charlotte, let alone Tulane. So I guess I'm talking to myself. Charlotte covering in the points. That's what I'm going to do.
This game's just an avoid for me, man. Charlotte's going to get absolutely throttled by Tulane. Tulane wins this. They're in the American Championship. Charlotte is just bad. They are one of the worst, if not the worst team in the FBS this season. Hopefully Coach Albin can get things turned around next season, but it's not going to happen for him this year. Tulane throttles them and makes their way to the American Conference Championship. Speaking of the American Conference Championship, so it's really kind of three contenders. You got Tulane, North Texas, and Navy. If Tulane and North Texas win, they are both in. 100% what I expect to happen. Tulane's playing Charlotte. North Texas is playing. Who are they playing? They're playing the Thursday night. Why am I missing it? Oh, Temple. Friday night. They play Friday night against Temple. Navy's got to be rooting for Temple, right? Because Charlotte ain't beating Tulane. That ain't happening. So Navy's got to win Thursday night against Memphis and then turn around Friday afternoon and be rooting hard for Temple. Okay, I think that's really like, the path. Well, actually, I take that back. It doesn't really matter. Because if North Texas is the one that loses, Well, if Navy wins, if Navy wins and North Texas loses, Navy would be in. But if they end up tied, North Texas has the tiebreaker. But yeah, back to the American. I just don't see any way it's going to work out for Navy. It's going to be Tulane versus North Texas. But yeah, again, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. On X, give us a follow. If you're listening on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. We're so grateful for the immense amount of support we have received and sincerely thank each and every one of you. Be sure to join us next week as we discuss what happened in Week 14. We look forward to what is coming in Conference Championship Week, and as always, bring you up to date on all the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.
First